In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful, greed for more and more distracts you till you reach the grave. In Sermon 218 of Nahjul Balaghah, Ali recited, Al-Hakumutakathur Hatta Zurtumul Maqabir, and reminded people that those who haven't learned from those things in life that are full of lessons have separated themselves from the real goal. Our ancestry is not something to brag about. The popularity of something that we are a part of also is not. The dead are more of something to be humble in regards to, rather than something to be proud of. The living have taken over the lands and properties of the dead. Their bodies have even grown into new things. For the most part, even if we find their remains, they are strangers. The earthquakes and such things that have befallen them can befall us. Our stay in the grave is longer than our stay in these bodies in living terms. It is God that has the medicine for our griefs, for our physical ailments. Let us not give up on being cured on all levels. Let us give answers while we still have the body to give answers. Let us understand that there is something more serious than what we witness the body going through, that we or others may end up going through. Now, people talk about A'imma, Ali ibn Abi Talib, then Hassan ibn Ali, then Hussein ibn Ali, then Ali ibn al-Hussein, then Muhammad ibn Ali, then Ja'far ibn Muhammad, then Musa ibn Ja'far, then Ali ibn Musa, then Muhammad ibn Ali, then Ali ibn Muhammad, then Hassan ibn Ali, then Muhammad ibn Hassan. And some people dispute whether that 12th existed, and there's also dispute about the line after the 5th. Because the narrations that say, like Sunni narrations say there'll be 7, but not only 7. And there's other narrations that say 12. And so both of those can be true because it doesn't say only 7. But it doesn't actually give the names or say that they would be continuous. These A'imma that stand apart. So the thing about the hidden Imam, that's not from anything the Prophet taught. Nothing attributed to the Prophet gives that. People use deductive reasoning and try to draw that one out. And The idea is God will not leave the community without guidance. Well, again, we have the Quran, and as we saw in the previous things here, it's not that Ali didn't believe in a system that was other than, okay, let's continue with the Quran and the inspired teachings of the Prophet. They're the Ahl Hadith, they're the Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, something like that. The same phrases are used in Shia Islam as Sunni Islam. So just because these phrases existed for religion doesn't mean the sects had occurred. To the Shia, Islam is not just a set of encouragement and discouragement. It is a consciousness of the transcendence of God. Now, one of the things we're seeing listed here is you can take the Quran literally and just say Lahu kufuwan ahad, and that'd be it. So anthropomorphism and zoomorphism and all that other stuff is gone. Any term you use to refer to God, you're not referring like the creation. So any of those terms, and honestly, the thing about the footstool and the throne, I mean, if the lowest of the heavens is the one with all the stars and stuff, and that's like compared to the next is like a ring tossed in a desert, or some similar analogy, and then the footstool's exalted over that, and the throne's exalted over this, and God doesn't rest in a throne like a king and all this stuff. Again, it's just a way of making it makes understandable the ultimate transcendence of God, but it doesn't, bring God down to the level of creation. It does quite the opposite. And of course, the prophets are, there's a lot of misunderstanding nowadays about what a prophet is. A prophet is not just someone who predicts the future. A prophet is somebody spiritually gifted, and God specifically sanctions prophets to make sure that the way is laid perfect for people so that they don't have an excuse towards any evil or ignorance, or to not do some good, or not to hold some truth that they should have. And these prophets that were sanctioned by God, well, they were the most qualified to lead by example. The day of resurrection is a thing of retribution. And of course, nobody is forced to obey or disobey. Us humans have a choice. And a lot of people say, oh, well, the evil in this world, because people chose evil. Some of the jinn chose, well, I mean, they all disobeyed once, but, some of them continue to choose evil, so. And so just like the Sunnis, the Shia look at what Prophet Muhammad taught, primarily the Quran, and then, his other sayings. And the way the believers, I forget where the verse is in the Quran, this is best understood, according to the Shia tradition, through, A'imma, that their understanding was expressed. And then, of course, there are some scholars that further elucidate some of these things. And as far as the way the believers, the most important things are all agreed upon between the Shia and the Sunni. There's talk about the Quds. The Sunni understand it directly in terms of what the Quran is. The other, in terms of there's a community leader that accepts the Quds rather than it being, because the Quran talks about the spoils of war to be divided, that fifth. And of course, the social duties. Because there's no religion if you're just praying. Well, I mean, I guess there is some religion, but you know what I mean. It's, a lot of people like to blame religion, some ridiculous stuff like that. And Shiism, of course, like standard Islam, is not going to be something that you have, ignoring politics. Politics just includes the spiritual principles. Like I'm told very regularly now, oh, you shouldn't say that because it's not. No, if it's the right thing or the wrong thing, I don't care what side. This is right, this is wrong, and here's the reasons why I say this. Because for one, I'm expected to return to the political party of a family member, and it's like, I voted principles until some things propped up, and then I couldn't vote for that party anymore, and I haven't noticed any candidate that I would vote for that party, including running against somebody that's, how can you not put somebody better than that guy? But they didn't. They never have. That's why that one guy keeps winning. And Thomas Carlyle, in his book Heroes, page 77 of the 1968 edition, points out that Ali was a very likable person who would have been an ideal individual. He doesn't use the word saint, but he would have probably been considered a saint had he been Christian.